Future planning.
Right.
Any metric we use, I remember at one company I was at, we really invested heavily in trying to improve our quality, and to be all honest, we really were successful, and we believe that we got our total organizational rework down to about 15%, which we thought was really good. Our method of measuring it was, we said, we're just going to look at defects. We're going to say, which defects did we fix? And the defects that we chose to fix, we assigned an hour value to. The defects that just got recorded, we assigned a much smaller hour to. And we went across the organization and we said, this is how many hours were spent. This was the total engineering capacity. This is we're going to call it efficiency. Whether it was exact or not, it was not exact, but we felt that it was a good measure of at least what percentage of the work being done was rework. And so you can sort of impute that if you're doing less rework, you're doing more new work, which was sort of the approach that we took. But when we started to do that, I was looking at one team's results, and I noticed a real anomaly, and that was that every defect that was logged by this team was fixed and resulted in a code change. No defects were rejected, works as designed. None of them were deferred, nothing at all. And I started to poke around, and you know what I found? The project manager had created an edict on the project that said, defects come to me first, I'll put them in a spreadsheet, we'll decide which ones we're going to fix, and those are the ones that make it into the tracking system.
So pre-filtering, yeah.
Yeah, but it's what gets measured gets improved, right? What they were trying to say is we're better. We were clearly measuring the wrong thing, right? But it was also the project manager. We had a serious talk with the project manager about trying to game the system.
Well, so here's, as an engineering leader, one that started changing, how do you come up with a reasonable set of gauges or diagnostics or even outcome measures that gives you a sense of how the team's doing, or is a leader sort of set to fly blind? My sense is that I can't rely on any single one. I need a portfolio or suite or handful of things so I can look at it from different directions, hopefully counteract some of that gaming going on. But as a leader, John, how did you ever craft some visibility into the project that you can help tell the story? Because I think metrics to me are more about telling a story than they're all number. You got to be able to tell a story to your leaders, tell a story to your peers. How did you ever craft something like that to be able to tell a good story?
So we got away from metrics because we sort of accepted what I believe is the most important of the agile principles, which is the only true measure of the primary measure of progress is working software. Now, I believe it's the only measure, but that's probably another discussion. So
and we have to define working carefully, yeah.
We do. And I define working software. Everybody has their definition, but I sort of define it as it delivers business value. It's ready to be made available to live users and believed to be major defect free. You can build upon that, you can tweak it, but I think any definition of working software is probably going to include something like that, right? And so we got into the model of actually committing what functionality we were going to deliver on a quarterly basis, and then going back and saying, how well did we do against that? Did we hit it? No, but we were transparent, within ourselves, within our organization, but also going up the organization. It's not a metric, but we didn't waste time trying to put a metric on it that really wouldn't have made us any better.
When you say you didn't put a metric on it, I mean, you obviously counted number of functions or features or whatever it is, that unit of values you were projecting, and you had 100 of them and you delivered 80. That sounds like 80% kind of thing. Right? None of that kind of stuff
Yeah,
happened, or you just say, "Here's the 80 we delivered, end of story," and someone could do the math in the head, but we're not doing it for you.
I don't think we put any math on it. We said, this is what we delivered. This is what we said we delivered. This is what we're going to deliver next quarter or whatever the period was. And we left it at that. Trying to put a number on something, again, if we put the numbers on it, it makes its way into a spreadsheet. And a
Right.
lot of people analyze it. And then a lot of engineering managers have to defend it. And
And then it ends up on in a boardroom on a PowerPoint slide, and then the whole organization's in deep doo doo. So one of the things that somebody mentioned here was this.